What is up, peoples? It's time again for the Hawg Slop. Welcome to the Slop House. I'm your boy, Bigger T, Big C. Clint Clark, how you doing, man?
Man, fantastic. Really excited about the show this week. You know, you've got my competitive views. My juices are flowing. My competitive juices are
Good,
flowing.
man.
We got one of them classic Big C, Bigger T showdowns coming up.
That's right. Today we're going to draft our all-time offensive football team, but we're starting with the era that we kind of started with becoming fans. Now, we can go back to the Danny Ford era, go back a little bit in the Hatfield era, but when we really started like digging on football, it was the Houston Nutt era. And we feel like most of the people that pay attention to this podcast, you go back to that era also. So that's what we're going to go back to. We're putting together we're going to draft our all-time offensive team from back then till now. So I'm going to have the best team. My team will destroy whatever Clint can throw out there. He'll be picking people. Clint's first pick, just this is for you, Matt Sandiford. It's going to be Wade Grayson. Anyway, so guess what, Clint? It's time to start the show. Kick up the band, Sean Michelle.
1, 2, 3, 4. You've ever seen a lame man walk? Ever heard a dumb man talk? Never seen a blind man see? I promise you a change his name. You ever seen a cancer dead? Ever seen all the poor get fed? Ever seen a prisoner set free? I promise you a change his name.
What's up, everybody? What is up? Welcome to the Slop House. It's episode 160, Clint, of this podcast, of the Big C, Bigger T podcast. But now, of course, last week, this is the second week we've had the name change to the Hawg Slop, HAWGSLOP, Hawg Slop, the place where you come to get all those good nutrients you need to feed your hog addiction right here at the Slop House, right?
I couldn't have said all that. So I'm happy you had it. How long have you practiced that?
I didn't practice it all, man. I'm going off the top of the dome.
Top of your head. It was impressive. You may want to
call me Notorious B.I.G., man. I'm just flowing. I'm like Eminem. I'm ready to lose myself. Mom's spaghetti. Come on now.
All righty. Step 1 is creating the podcast. Check. Step 2, changing the podcast name. Check. Step 3, count the money. We haven't checked it yet, but
anyway.
Any sponsors out there that want to waste their money and sponsors, have at it.
It's not a waste, Clint. We do some pretty good, we advertise for our peoples.
No, we do. I'm just giving you
what little we've had to do. Anyway. Well, man, Clint, it's a big week, right, man? There's lots of stuff going on. It is SEC Media Days right now.
Oh, yeah.
That the Hogs, I guess, are they going tomorrow? Today's Tuesday evening when we're recording this.
Right.
So, are the Hogs going tomorrow? Is that right? Or are they going Thursday?
I haven't paid much attention to Media Days. And I do remember our holy shnikes moment of the week is from SEC Media Days. Could you imagine being some schlup working security at SEC Media Days? You get hired by they're in Dallas. Is that where they are?
Yeah, they're in Dallas.
They're in Dallas. You've been hired by the Dallas Convention Center. You've got that job that upped you from $12.50 an hour to $13.50 an hour. And in comes Nick Saban. Like, sir,
you might know who he is. You might have heard of him.
Yeah. He's probably only the greatest college football coach of all time.
Yeah,
it pains me to say that.
May have heard of him.
He lost to Houston Nutt, though.
That's true. That's true.
So, you're Nick Saban. You come sauntering up, and you're like, "Hey, I'm going in." You're like, "No, no. Where's your credentials?"
Not in here, buddy.
Not in here. Not on my watch.
No, sir. Where's
I
your
know who
media
you are.
pass?
Sir, I know who you are, but there's no way. I don't believe your media.
And
I'm
and
not.
and that's what the security guy said. He said, "Look, I know who you are. I know you belong here, but I can't let you in without the media pass. I have to see the media pass." I got to give it to the guy. He did his job.
He did his job.
He did his job.
You would have let him through, wouldn't you?
Yes, I would have let him through.
I would have let him through. Damn, freaking Nick Saban.
I mean, if I would have had to, I'd have got on the radio with my boss and I said, "Look, Nick Saban's here. I'm a little scared of him right now because I'm afraid he's gonna
He's very intense.
send me to do some running or
very,
something.
very intense.
Even though he's much smaller than me, I'd be scared of the guy.
He's
So
an angry leprechaun.
yeah, I'd let him through. I'd be a wuss. But this
Yeah,
guy, you got to he stuck to his guns. He
you know
stuck
that
to
he's
it.
a legend in the security guard community now.
That's right. Yeah.
The man can have any position he wants at Garda. I guarantee you.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh yeah, for sure.
100%. I mean, it's legendary. I mean, he's like, nah, you ain't coming through, Nick Saban.
That's right.
And you know what? You know who's probably who gave that guy money is probably Lane Kiffin.
That's right.
Like,
Yeah.
he did what?
Yeah, there needs to be some kind of meme put out there with Lane Kiffin like
Yeah.
sticking something in that guy's wallet or giving him a
Oh my
$200
taking out to
handshake
dinner
or
something.
Yeah.
Lane Kiffin, I hope you step up for your boy for getting Nick Saban.
Yeah.
Had to go back to his room to
He had to go back to his room, got his media pass. Yeah.
That's great.
That's hilarious.
Fantastic. Now we
Well,
had
also some news from the media day, just a couple of tidbits that are out there.
win.
Lane Kiffin, of course, is probably holding back a little bit because he just lost his dad recently, Monty Kiffin, the guy who came up with the Tampa 2 defense. Is one of the biggest defensive guys in our time. Okay. Sadly, he passed away, but Kiffin did talk about getting Pooh Paul a little bit, and mainly because some Arkansas guys are right there asking questions as soon as they get a chance. But he talked about how, it was just, when he found out, he said, I think Pooh Paul got injured against them. He said it was a lot easier to run the ball when he was out than it was when he was in the game. And so that's how he knew he wanted him on his team. And said it was like NFL free agency trying to get him. And so, anyway, also Shane Beamer said that Rocket Sanders has lost, he's down to 228 pounds and has been staying around with the, hanging out and working out with the linemen and stuff like that instead of going off places. Wish he would have shown some of that leadership and dedication when he was at Arkansas, but good for him. Hope the guy does well, except when he plays us, of course. And then everybody's favorite, Eli Drinkowitz, your fellow Wonder Boy.
I just want to slap that guy.
Yeah, he's very slappable.
Yeah, he's got a slappable.
But this is something I agree with him on. He took part of his time in his speech in front of the big thing to say that Mike Leach needs to be in the College Football Hall of Fame.
100%.
One of the things, an argument to keep him out of it is he has that most people to get in it, most coaches have to have a 60% winning percentage. And Leach's is 59 point something.
Yeah.
He is literally one win away, Clint. One win away from having a 60%.
But here, I mean, real talk is number one, that COVID year's factored in there, and I'm sure he had a losing record that COVID year. That should not count against him.
Yeah.
But also, can I ask you a question? And answer this on. Who's the greatest football coach in the history of Texas Tech?
Mike Leach.
Who's the greatest football coach in the history of
Washington State?
Yeah.
Mike Leach.
You see what I'm saying? And the man had Mississippi State pointing in the right direction.
Yeah.
There's no, and I hate it, but he had him pointed in the right direction. And
well, another one. Name one of the top 5 offensive minds in your time as a football fan.
Yeah. No,
He's got to be in there.
Yeah, no, he is. He was nuttier. He was nuttier than a pet squirrel, but he was.
It was wonderful.
He was always great. SEC media days. He was just. You can go down or you can go on YouTube and get on the rabbit holes and things. And I've gotten down a Michael Leach rabbit hole before. So
yeah, me too.
So yeah, that. So
me too for sure.
Let the man in the Hall of Fame.
Yep, for sure, man. All right, Clint. Other big news going on right now has been the Major League Baseball draft.
Right.
Hagen Smith went 5th overall.
5th overall, I think,
to the White Sox.
Yeah, to the White Sox. They love them some Razorbacks.
They do.
Turner, and there's several others. There's a bunch in the organization. I can't remember.
I can't remember who all, but you're right. There's 5 total in the organization connected to Arkansas. So in different levels, of course. Stovall was the next guy that went, and he went with the 117th pick.
4th rounder, I believe.
Molina went the 215th pick. 7th round to the Brewers. Sprague Lott went to the Oakland Athletics. White, the catcher, went to the Boston Red Sox. McLaughlin went to the Arizona Diamondbacks. And then, so that's 6 players. And then Brady Tigert today went to the Red Sox.
Yeah.
So
and it's not like back in the day, they had like 60 rounds.
Yeah.
And now they've got it down to like, I think 14 rounds, something like that.
Yeah.
Right. It's not what it used to be because they've really cut down on the minor league system too. Because it was just like everybody, there's independent ball and that ball. And also a little other baseball news out of the Razorbacks too, other than just all them guys. I mean, there's so few rounds now, they're all as good as gone.
Yeah.
So I don't think any of them are coming back. But in the Cape Cod League, Gage Wood is leading that in strikeouts right now.
Yeah.
Up in Cape Cod. So
that's good.
That's your baseball news from the Big C.
Well, and also some freshmen that we had signed.
Yes.
Decided some of them pulled themselves out mid-draft because they didn't go in the first few rounds, so they decided to stick with Arkansas. So that was good. We're not losing a bunch of those guys to the draft. So
yeah,
that's a good thing.
I mean, Dave Van Horn's always going to have a high recruiting class.
Yeah.
It seems like every time we're good, we've got a stud freshman somewhere, whether it be Caden Wallace or Kerstad or, whoever.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Well, what else? What other Arkansas news we got? We got anything else there?
No, not really. Ronnie Brewer got rehired on the basketball staff. He is officially been retained. I'm not sure he's going to be on the bench coaching, but I
don't think he's on the bench, but he's still on staff there.
A skill development,
player development. Yeah.
Yeah, and Ronnie Brewer Jr. is still a young man, and he's young in the coaching game,
and I forget the other guy that was retained. It was announced with him, but he's an Arkansas guy also. I think a kid from Bryant who was a manager, has worked his way up from a manager to be now a like basketball operations type of guy, and he's been there a long time.
Forget. Let's talk Ronnie Brewer for just a split second. Just a split. Can you imagine what his resume is going to look like when he goes to actually try to break out away from Arkansas? I know we'd love him to just work his way up and be the head coach there, but that's not realistic.
Yeah.
He's eventually going to want to branch out, but he's able to go, okay, I played X amount of years in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he had more than a cup of coffee in the NBA.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And so he got that. And then he goes, okay, who have you coached with? Well, I coached with Eric Musselman and John Calipari.
Yeah.
I mean, he He's doing something right.
especially if he can get to the bench, in the next couple years. If he can prove himself with Cal and Cal brings him up, moves him up to the bench, that would give him some experience that'll take him, like you said, to that next step somewhere probably. Or that would be his next step. He may find a job, Cal may, help him find a job somewhere else to get on the bench. But yeah, good for him. He was always a good guy. The ugliest shot ever to play guard at Arkansas, probably, besides Kareem Reed's set shot, off the shoulder set shot for a 5'2" guy. It was pretty cool. Anyway, but he had that ugly shot, but he could play, man. He was a baller, played great defense, and was versatile. And he could hit shots when he needed to. And so good for him. Good to have him as a Hog, and he's a proud Hog. And players seem to like him. So that's a good thing for sure. All right, now, Clint, you came up with this idea. Explain to the people what we're going to do. I came up with
this idea, and I'm actually going to rescind what I did before the podcast because I've decided to retain the first pick in the draft.
Okay, gotcha.
But it's really not about the first pick. It's about my third pick, and that's neither here nor there.
Okay.
So anyway, we drafted Razorback basketball teams before. I'm like, okay, what if we did all-time offense? Number one, this challenges mine and your memory because, like, we almost let the 5-on-5 team go without Scotty Thurman being picked, which has been a tragedy because I think me and you both should have had him in the top 4.
And we're going to leave some people out of this one.
We're going to leave some people out, and you're going to be mad at us. You're going to yell at us. You're going to scream at us. I had to use Dr. Google to make my list a little bit today. But so what we're going to do, we're just going to work our way down the position chart. We're going to start with quarterback. I'll have first pick. Then Travis he'll name a quarterback and a running back. And then I'll name a running back and a wide receiver, so on and so on.
Now, there's a couple to steal a phrase from one of our heroes, Mr. Tommy Smith. We are going to corliss a couple people. Corliss means, in case you don't know, if you argue on who the best Razorback basketball player of all time is, it's obviously Corliss Williamson. Okay. And so that's a given. You're just arguing about second. Okay. And so that's become like a phrase or whatever Tommy Smith used to use, and it's entered our vocabulary also. So we are corlissing Darren McFadden because obviously best running back we've seen for sure, and most would say probably the best one ever. And then we're going to corliss Brandon Burlsworth.
Man's got an award named after him.
Yeah, and just what he did. I mean, obviously, he was the first name I put down when I wrote down my offensive lineman and then we and Clint talked about it and decided that he would not be on the board. We'd have to pick somebody else. So to challenge ourselves a little bit, we're taking those two off the board. They're not eligible to be picked, but don't hate us. Okay. We're taking them off because they would be obvious picks. It'd be like, okay, here's an NBA draft. Let's see who's going to take Michael Jordan. Okay. Duh. Right. So we got that. We did
offensive lineman. On offensive lineman, we're just going 5 offensive linemen. We're not necessarily going left tackle.
Oh, we are. I had them in position.
That's fine. I'll adapt.
Well, you don't have to put them at their exact position they play.
Yeah.
Try to get them close.
Yeah, I'll get them close.
All right. And so the other thing is, we're gonna scientifically before the show, we decided who was going to get the first pick. Clint got the choice on that. He decided to give me the first pick, and then he changed his mind as he thought about it. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah, because I did. And I know you probably your quarterback is not going to be my quarterback because I'm going out the box here. But it's also I don't think it's too far out the box because out of all the quarterbacks that we've came through Arkansas, Brandon Allen has by far had the best NFL career. The man is still strolling the sidelines in the NFL, currently playing for your San Francisco 49ers. And here's the thing about Brandon Allen is he put up solid numbers, but he is the dadgum toughest individual to play quarterback at the University of Arkansas of all time, in my opinion.
He was in my top 3 of trying to decide, and I was going back and forth on him. But as I think about the other weapons I'm going to have, I got to go with Ryan Mallett. Now,
go ahead.
Now,
who was your
another one that I thought about was Clint Sterner, because I love the way he played, but Clint Sterner, everybody forgets until Houston got here. Sterner was still kind of like he had some maturing to do. I think with the weapons we got, I need someone that can make every throw. Ryan Mallett can make every throw. Running back, my number 1 pick.
KJ would have been my second choice on there.
KJ was second.
I still love KJ.
See, mine was Matt Jones and Sterner and Matt Jones and Brandon Allen were in there. For running back, Fred Talley.
Oh, wow. That's a good pick.
I loved Fred Talley, man. He hit the hole quick. It's hard to bring down. He's a big guy with the offensive line I'm going to put together. He's going to get tons of yards. Who's your running back?
I'm going, I know his current situation is not the best in the world, but I'm going C4.
Cedric Cobbs. All right.
Cedric Cobbs, man, he was, I thought Madre Hill and them like that's Danny Ford era. He's like the one player I remember from the Danny Ford era, had the horse collar and all that,
Well, didn't he? I thought he played 1 year. No, he didn't. Yeah, he played 1 year with Houston.
Yeah, but Cedric Cobbs was the most exciting running back I remember.
Yeah.
I remember watching, and I could have easily went Felix there. Also, I loved Alex Collins.
Alex Collins was my number 2.
Yeah, Alex Collins would have been my number 2. But it's hard to beat because Cedric Cobbs came in as a freshman and won the starting job, beat out Chris Chikuma.
Yeah.
But you know what? I did a little bit of strategery here. Because I took the number 1 pick back just so I can make this pick.
I think I know who you got. Okay.
Treylon Burks. There's no question. Treylon Burks. He's best wide receiver, I think, to ever come through the University of Arkansas. Hasn't related quite to the pros yet, but in college, he was unbelievable.
My wide receiver number 1, Kobe Hamilton. I think Kobe was probably the most talented of the bunch that he was around. And I think he could do it all. He was a number 1 receiver. He could go deep, he could go across the middle. He had speed, he had some decent size. He's the way I like. Treylon Burks would have been my first pick, but my second wide receiver.
Oh yeah, you get back-to-backs here.
Yeah.
You good.
Is gonna be a guy I know I can count on to make the catch in traffic, deep, has decent speed, didn't have burning speed. Marcus Monk.
He was on my list. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
I loved Mark. And here's the deal, Clint. When I thought about this, I didn't necessarily like. There's a couple guys I thought of their pro career a little bit, but I thought of more of in college who was the best for the Razorbacks, who gave the most to the team. Marcus Monk was there. He didn't have anybody else around him hardly. He was almost by himself as a receiver.
Yeah. And Houston Nutt was also known for running 2 receiver routes.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
If you'd put him in Bobby Petrino's offense or even Kendall Browse or he would put up much different. See, because that leaves you with that trio of Childs, Wright, and Adams, in my opinion. And which one to go with?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Greg Childs.
Yeah.
I think his ability to go up and get it was a little bit better than the other two. The other two probably had longer pro careers. I think Jarius Wright had the longest, but I'm going with Greg Childs here.
By the way, so far your whole team's from Arkansas.
Oh wow.
And
that's
two
not,
from Warren.
that's not going to change because at the tight end position. And I almost went outside the box on this one. And because I had a feeling this tight end was going first, no matter what. I think you'd have a different pick than me. But I'm going Hunter Henry.
Yeah.
The Hunter.
You could almost correlate him.
Yeah, you could almost. Do you want to correlate Hunter? Because
no, because my guy, I think, is right next to him. That's DJ Williams.
Oh well, no. See, no DJ. I mean, obviously they're. Well, Hunter never did. Hunter win the Mackey Award? He did win, did he? Or did he lose it?
I don't know.
I know DJ did.
Yeah. In college, I mean, Hunter's had a better pro career. DJ had a cup of coffee in the pro. I mean, he did decent, but I mean, Hunter's had a better pro career for sure. But
well, I mean,
in college though,
longevity,
In college though, DJ did it on a field full of wide receivers.
Yeah.
Because he had that Warren, that trio you just asked about was on the field with him, and he still was making catches even with all those guys around.
Yeah. Now my second choice, and of course I don't get to make this one, was going to be Jason Peters.
Yeah.
Because Jason Peters, why he's an all-pro, first ballot Hall of Famer offensive lineman, played tight end at the University of Arkansas.
Yeah. Mine would have been Jodine Davenport.
Okay, that is another.
It'd been my third. Hunter was my first.
Okay.
All right, left tackle.
Is it your pick or mine?
It's yours. No, wait, sorry. It is mine, right?
It is yours. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's yours.
All right. I'm going with Bobby Williams.
Bobby Williams. That's a great pick. I can't argue with it at all.
A guy that played 12 years in the pros. Had a good career there, won a Super Bowl there.
Ravens, yeah.
And was a great utility guy. He played a couple of different positions at Arkansas, but settled in mostly at left tackle and was a great one at left tackle. So Bobby Williams is mine.
So here, I grouped. I said, we just picking 5 offensive lineman drafts. I'm like, no, try to give them close positions. This would not be my first pick on the offensive line, but as far as left,
no, Bobby Williams wasn't my first pick on the offensive line either.
Yeah. So yeah, it works out. And I'm going to go Dan Skipper.
Okay. Yeah, he was up there for me.
He's having a cup of coffee in the NFL. Became the tackle eligible plays, but I mean, he had a grit and an edge to him. But I do have a feeling their good friend Junior Fernando Carmona is going to be on this spot one day.
He very well could be.
So,
very well could be.
But yeah, so I guess I'm to guard now, huh?
Left guard.
Left guard. I think he played right, but I'm going to give him this. I'm going to go Denver Kirkland.
Okay.
The Denver Kirkland. He was a road grader. He left. If he hadn't left a year too early, because he left a year too early, we would look at him totally different. Because I think he'd have been drafted higher, and he would have had more expectations than NFL instead of going undrafted. But I mean, when he was there, he was amazing. He was part of that great Sam Pittman offensive line.
Well, another Sam Pittman offensive lineman that I think was even better. Played left guard next to your guy, Dan Skipper. And also the only offensive lineman to ever throw a touchdown pass, Sebastian Tretola.
There you go. I actually, he was on my list.
He had a mean streak in him, man. He was good. He was good. And I think if it wasn't for some of his attitude issues, he would have made it in the pros longer than he did. but he kept getting in trouble a little bit in the pros with the Titans.
Yeah.
All right. So then I got center. And this one is a tough one because we've had some good centers.
We've had some good centers.
So I'm going to go with the one I like the best. And he's a pretty recent guy. It's Frank Ragnow.
Yeah, I can't. You can't. I'm definitely going to have to give you the center position on this one. I'm going to go with So I've got myself debating now because we've had some. I mean, you could. Okay.
I could name 3 right now that I couldn't argue with you. Like
See,
one of them, I would put a little above the other 2.
Stromberg was good and
Yeah.
further than the 3rd round draft pick. But I'm going to go with Travis Swanson.
Yeah, he was on my list too.
Travis Swanson. I also thought Jonathan Louise, but I'm going to go with Travis Johnson. But yeah, you definitely
Travis Johnson.
I mean, yeah.
So why you said Travis Johnson? Yeah, go with me.
Johnson, I don't like it.
Jonathan Louise was who I would have gone with.
Jonathan Louise. So,
and I would have given him the edge mainly because of the pro career.
So now I get right guard, huh?
Yep.
Well,
I'm going to bet you're not. I'm going to go ahead and write down my right guard because you're not going to get him.
Well, I'm going to put Stromberg in there because he did play guard under Chad Morris, and I thought he did an awesome job on the offensive line for Arkansas. So I'm going Ricky Stromberg. If that's cheating, I don't care.
That's fine. Yeah.
I tell you what, I know who your right tackle is going to be, and I think you've got me beat on this thing just off as the line at home. I love it. Because somehow
I'm fixing it. Well, hold on. All right, my right guards, I've got 2 of them. And one of them was actually going to be my backup left tackle. But I'm going to go with the guy that actually played right guard, I think. I'm going to go with Grant Cook.
Okay.
Hard-nosed guy.
Yeah.
Lunch pail guy. Just played hard and was there every time and a good leader on the team. And he's a coach now in Northwest Arkansas and has a podcast that does better than ours. But he's doing well. And then of course, right tackle, another guy that we probably could have corelessed, Sean Andrews.
Sean Andrews, just based off Frank Ragnow and Sean Andrews, you have I've got a good offensive line. I've got a good offensive line, but I'm gonna go Tony Hugo for my right tackle.
Yeah, he was
I
on my list.
Left tackle, but I mean, yeah, they can.
He was and Tony Hugo was one that everybody forgets about because he didn't have a good start. When he first got to Arkansas, it looked like Tarzan played like Jane. When he was a big, muscled up, athletic looking tackle. Looked like he could drop a little weight and play tight end almost. I mean, he was just, he was kind of like, what's that guy from the Dallas Cowboys left tackle that's the last few years? Huh?
Ron Smith.
Yeah, Smith. He kind of like him. You looked at him, you're like, man, that guy's impressive. But he just didn't. But man, he came into his own his last couple years.
Yeah.
And really did good. And got a cup of coffee in the NFL. All right. Now the last one is we're going to do an all-purpose position.
It's more of a wild card pick.
Yeah. Somebody that, you could put out there, probably a skill player.
Yeah. You think what we had in mind for Malik Hornsby, well, we've got to get this guy involved somehow.
Yeah.
But only it would work.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, see, and we were kicking around a few before, and I had my mind made up, and then I brought up Matt Jones, and then I was like, yeah, that's a good one, but I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Joe Adams.
I thought you were gonna go somebody else.
I'm going Joe Adams because you know what, if you just, when you're feeling down and out about the Chad Morris years, when you're thinking, oh man, Arkansas, they're 4-8, and we're not going to a crappy bowl game, and or best player just left in the transfer portal. Just Google Joe Adams Tennessee punt return, and you'll feel better.
That's right. Yeah.
Just you're good.
That's yeah. That's right.
It will never not bring us. It's like the Hunter Heath. It will never
That's
not
right.
bring a smile to your face.
That's right.
For all them times the universe was against you as a Hog fan.
Yeah.
There's that.
There's that for sure.
There's
Well, I'm gonna have to do it, Clint.
yeah.
I'm gonna have to go Peyton Hillis.
I can't argue with that either.
I mean, you know, the thing is, I would love to see what TJ Hammond could do with but I think a lot of his problems was his attitude. And so
Yeah.
that's why I don't want to get him. All right. Now, here's what I want to do. Let's add one more position and I'll let you pick first.
Okay.
Okay. We need a field goal kicker. I didn't even think about this one. This is
Cam
on the
Little.
fly, but
Cam Little.
okay, you're going to take Cam Little.
Hey, Cam Little.
Um, I'm going to take Todd. Wasn't Todd Latterette under Nutt?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Okay.
Now the one that I now brain fart on his name, he had a cup of coffee in the NFL. I can't remember his name, but he played for Belima. He was a good one too.
Actually, you know, probably one of the best ones is the guy that was our kickoff guy a couple years ago. That
Yeah,
like now he's getting an NFL tryout and stuff. Jake.
yeah. Well, we've had there's been some bad kicking, and been some really good ones at Arkansas.
Yeah.
It's usually nowhere in between. It's usually we don't have a mediocre kicker. He's either terrible or he's okay. Travis, now that our teams are set,
Okay.
who do you most regret that is not on your team? In fact, who's not on your team that's on my team, and then number two just didn't get picked at all. Who's the biggest tragedy that's not on one of our teams?
Well, a couple of the guys that you have that I wanted, of course, Burks.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a given. Hunter Henry. But I mean, I feel good with DJ Williams too, so I'm all right there. And Joe Adams for that position, for like a all-purpose, a guy you can do some crazy things with.
Right.
I don't think there's a better player in any of this. Like he would be the top guy because you could put him in the backfield, run the ball with him. You could put him out in the slot. You could put him on punt and kickoff returns. You could do I mean, you could do a lot. You run some reverses with him. I mean, you could do a lot of stuff with him. I mean, that's what they did. I mean, you know, he didn't have the best of hands in the world, but you could just do so much with him. You know, Hillis is a good one too, but you know, you're going to put him into block. You're going to put him into.
Well, he's a great receiver out
You're
the
going to put him in to catch out of the backfield. You can run the ball with him and power plays and stuff like that. So, I mean, you could still do a lot with him. And he was kind of that Swiss Army knife type of guy, but not as much, not as exciting as Joe Adams. And with my team, with Kobe Hamilton and Marcus Monk, I'm glad I got Kobe Hamilton because of his speed, because Marcus Monk's not the fastest guy in the world. No. And that's why I would have liked to have had Joe Adams to go with, if I went with a 3 wide receiver set with my team, then Joe Adams could go out there and be the 3rd wide receiver. So
definitely, I'm jealous of your offensive line. I don't have it wrote down like you, but I know just having Frank Ragnow and Sean Andrews, that gives you a heads up. I mean, Ragnow's he's becoming a Hall of Fame center for Detroit.
Yeah, but I still think in college wise, uh, man, I would take any of those four guys we said. Ragnow, Lewigs, Swanson.
Well, I mean, Swanson had an NFL career too.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
He definitely did. He had an NFL career too. So I mean, he's
Yeah.
not just because. I mean, what I'm saying is Ragnow is becoming literally what I said, a Hall of Fame center. The rest of the guys are NFL centers, and you're making a living. But Ragnow's a Hall of Famer, and I think Sean Andrews would have been a Hall of Famer had he not hurt his back.
Oh yeah, for sure, for
Had he
sure.
not, I mean, he had that type of he had that because the guy that's not on either one of our teams, and I thought about taking him with my all-purpose was Jason Peters
Mm-hmm.
because Houston Nutt's offense was there's Jason Peters lined up right next to Sean Andrews. We're gonna run right there.
I figured you were going to try to take Peters as the offensive line.
I didn't want to cheat there,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
dude, he was. I remember that Ole Miss game, man. Just some of the crazy passes that Matt Jones was throwing to him.
Yeah.
And it was just like it was like it was that classic hold my beer game.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Going out there just like topping each other.
Yeah.
And it was.
Let me go over our teams real quick.
All right.
Your team is quarterback Brandon Allen, running back Cedric Cobbs, wide receiver 1 Traylon Burks, wide receiver 2 Greg Childs, tight end Hunter Henry, left tackle Dan Skipper, left guard Denver Kirkland, center Travis Swanson, Ricky Stromberg, Sandberg. Anyway, right guard Tony Hugo, right tackle. All purpose Joe Adams, and Cam Little is your kicker. For my team is Ryan Mallett at quarterback, Fred Talley at running back, Kobe Hamilton at wide receiver 1, Marcus Monk at wide receiver 2. Tight end is DJ Williams. Bobby Williams is left tackle. Sebastian Tritola is left guard. Center is Frank Ragnow. Right guard is Grant Cook. Right tackle is Sean Andrews. All purpose is Peyton Hillis. And field goal kicker is Todd Latterat.
You know, here I'm just gonna be 100% transparent here. I think if you're talking about skill position, I got you. I think I put together the better skill position. I think you put together the better offensive line.
Yeah, maybe so.
Being objective about it, but that doesn't matter. What I want to know is what you think.
That's right. We want to know what y'all think. Next week we'll do the defense.
Yeah.
And see what we come up with there. I bet that's going to go all over the board there. It won't be as obvious. It'll be hard to I don't think that we'll correlate anybody for that, to be honest with you.
No, there'll be no. Everybody, Tony Bua is up for grabs.
That's right. And what position is he going to be up for grabs for? You know,
I don't know. I may put him at linebacker.
Yeah.
You put him at Razor. Maybe put him at Hawg. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. We'll have to decide. Are we going to run a 4-3? I guess 4-3. Stick with a 4-3.
Yeah, let's go. We'll go 4-3, 4-3-4.
Yeah.
4-3-4.
But anyway, that's an interesting team, Clint. I think it's a good squad. We'll try to get this topped up and put it in the show notes somewhere. And
yeah, 100%.
So y'all can see it and let us know what you think.
Tell us what we got right. Tell us what we got wrong.
That's right. Tell us who's some obvious we've missed out. Anthony Lucas is one. At receiver, there's a lot of folks probably yelling at us because we left him off. Jarius Wright, you talk about pro career.
Yeah.
Who else?
Oh yeah, I'm sure if we could have thought of them, we would. Chris Chakuma, the Chuck Wagon, had him a decent career in the XFL.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, Tyler Wilson.
Like Sterner.
Sterner. Sterner's made a career out of being an Arkansas, and
yeah.
So basically,
Matt Jones, one of the most exciting players we've ever seen at Arkansas, is not on the list. But when you have offensive weapons like this, you need someone that's going to be able to get the ball to them and not necessarily run it themselves. Yeah, and I'll tell you, adding Peyton Hillis, after I thought about it, with Fred Talley as my running back, him being a smaller guy, having a big guy like Peyton Hillis I could put in the backfield.
I'm telling you, just line it up. I mean, you've got the offensive line.
Yeah. I'll tell you, I got my 3 top offensive linemen that I wanted.
Yeah. No, I definitely Ragnow and Andrews would have been my top.
Andrews, Ragnow, and Tretola were my top. Like, I'm a big fan of Tretola, like the way he played. I liked watching him play. And once again, there's no Wade Grayson on the list. Don't know what happened. Sorry. My buddy Matt was not a fan of Wade Grayson. Yeah. So until one game we found out we were sitting by his girlfriend and family. And like Matt complains about him. Like when he played, he complained about him every game. Every game. He's like, dang it, Grayson, And then all of a sudden, before the game, I see these people in front of me and they got Grayson's number on. I was like, oh, are y'all fans of Grayson? Yeah, this girl said, that's my boyfriend and this is his parents. And I text Matt, he's sitting on the same row as me, a few people down. I said, better be quiet about Grayson. This is his family in front of me, his girlfriend and family. And Matt just looked at me like, oh no. Because every game he complained about him. But anyway, guys and gals, if you're watching and listening, let us know what you think. Like and share so other people can tell us what they think. Like and share. Please subscribe. We need more eyes. We need more ears. Listen to us on
this was
YouTube.
160?
This is 160.
And the second ever Hatless podcast.
Oh, wow. It is, isn't it? We're both hatless, aren't we? Look at us go.
Yeah.
Well, folks, Clint, man, it was fun.
Defense
next week.
Who won? Tell us who won. We want to know.
That's right. We want to know.
Who got the better move? We don't know. You need
which one of these teams would you take?
No.
Big C's or bigger T's? Which one? Which one of these teams would you take? Which one would you want as your team? I know which one I'd want. Come on with it. Road Graders right here, baby. Whoop, whoop. Clint, have a good week, buddy.
Have a good one.
Sweat, work, filthy, dirt, harvest, hurt, kingdom come. Sweat, work, filthy, dirt, harvest, hurt, kingdom come. Listen, that's why I sweat when I work. My hands get filthy down in this dirt. Won't see no harvest till I hurt. Crying your kingdom come. Listen, I wake up in the morning, I bow my head to pray. Mama told me if I don't, ain't nothing gonna change. These prayers breaking up hard drive so I can sow the seed. Ain't afraid of no aches and pain. Lord knows I gotta follow his lead. That's why I sweat when I work. My hands get filthy down in this dirt. Won't see no harvest till I hurt. Crying your kingdom come.